Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's your boy Decopbo. Welcome to Late Night Confessions. Like always, I went to a therapist one time, right, for an unrelated reason, and at the time, I wasn't as fundamentally sound, is a good word, then, and I remember getting a bill, and it was like, that's what I mean by fundamentally sound, meaning like, I wasn't where I'm at now, and I remember getting a bill, and it was like fucking like $350, and I was only in it for like an hour. So, if anybody's ever wondering what late night confession is about, and because I also happen to be a psychology major, so if anyone's ever wondering what is it for, it's actually me getting free therapy. Therapy I ain't got to pay for. Because really all a psychologist does is just ask you to explain stuff, listen to what you explain, ask you how you feel about what you explain, and so it's basically the same shit. Like all the times in my late night confessions, it always comes about. I always feel like talking about shit when shit happens to me. And everybody doesn't seem to understand that in order for you to be as conscious as I am about people, you had to lose a whole lot of them. And I don't wish that on anybody. I love hard. Some might say I love fast. I'm talking about friends. I ain't just talking about no girlfriends. I'm talking about friends, homies, whatever. Like sometimes like I'm overly trustful. And it started when I was about 14, 15 years old. And I went up to room 335, I think it was. I know it was on the third floor. And it was November 12th. It was like November the 9th. And my dad was in the hospital. And at the time, I didn't know he had suicidal liver, so I was talking to him. And he was looking out the window, and I was talking about all this stuff that I was going to do. And what we was going to cook. And he never told me anything, though. And then that's November 9th. And then November 12th, a funny thing happened. All of my brothers was sitting, laying on the floor, in the afternoon, too. And I got a lot of brothers, so that's like for all, and some of them older. So for all of us to be in the house at the same time, especially the ones that didn't live there, it was like really strange. And somebody came and got us and said, you got to go to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I remember getting off on the third floor, and I got this long ass hallway, and my whole entire family in there, and everybody's crying. I still don't know. My dumb ass still don't get it. So I'm walking, I go to the room, and I walk in the room, and I turn back around and say, this ain't my dad's room. That ain't my dad right there. Because he had already died, and his body started bloating, and he didn't look like himself. If somebody would have told me on November 9th that I would never see my dad again, I would have just stayed there until whenever he passed. But I was thinking about him coming home. Y'all don't get it? You never know when you're going to walk out the door and it'll be the last time that you see somebody. I was at my grandma's house and everybody was there. And my grandma was sitting in a chair and her legs were swelling. And everybody knew she had cancer, but she was going to do chemo. So everybody was shocked, but I knew, I went to nursing school, so I know shit. So I soaked some gauze in some cold water and wrapped their legs up with it. And I'm glad I got to do that, but the point being, the next time I see my grandma, she was dead. My best friend, my Puerto Rican homie, Joe, we have Huntington Park as our birthdays. We have no business with rental cars, but I'm not even going to get into the story of how we got the money for the shit. And I'm not, so it's a new Lincoln Continentals. We all had different colors. I said, yo, man, I'm going ahead to say goodbye to my sister, because my sister teacher lived on 6th Street. So as I'm walking, when I get to like 6th and Luzerne, I had all these shots, but you know it's Huntington Park, so I'm not even worrying about that. Like, fuck, it's like, shit, damn. And I was out there for like 3 minutes, and somebody came and ran, and because my sister was part of our little cruiser, everybody came and ran. Somebody came and ran and told us, go to Pike Street, hurry up. So we all run around Pike Street, and there's a sheet on the ground, and my homie underneath it. And I remember screaming at the cops, like, get him the fuck off the ground. And I sat out there, they had him on the ground for like 6 fucking hours. Now, I don't want nobody to feel any type way if you did not make this speech, or if you feel like I should have like invoked someone else in this speech, like my Uncle Rico or something. You know, you gotta understand, it's like it's a time thing. But my point being, I will be sitting here on this phone talking for a whole day if I tell people how many people I've loved. So for me, it's like that shit then gave me like separation anxiety. Like when you suffer from separation anxiety, you feel like almost, and it's gonna sound really strange, but just know that it's a syndrome. It's a syndrome. So, you know, sometimes people who suffer from what I suffer from destroy that shit first, so they won't get destroyed. That's the weird thing about it. Being afraid someone is going to leave you, but giving people reasons to, just so you won't have to, like, you could do it on your own terms. And somewhere, some way, there's somebody out there who needs to hear that come from me. So maybe you'll understand that, like, I am obsessive about life because of loss, not because of life. And it almost makes me not like engage in relationships, like new friends and all that shit. Like, I don't do that. I don't want nobody to come into my life so I can lose them again. But let's look at the clock. It's almost my 10-minute mark, man, but I really need to get that on my chest. Thanks for listening. Decopbo 1.